On December 26, 2004, a powerful earthquake struck the coast of Indonesia, creating a deadly tsunami that killed more than 200,000 people. It was a terrible tragedy. In one day, millions of lives were forever changed. But there was one group of people, although their village was destroyed, did not suffer a single casualty. The reason? They knew a tsunami was coming.
We found this Moken village on an island 2 hours by speedboat from the coast of Thailand. It had become something of an exotic tourist mecca before the tsunami. A Bangkok movie star and amateur photographer named On was here on December 26th, taking pictures of Moken village life when someone noticed the sea receding into the distance.
How far?
Like, you see the blue one, the blue water?
Yes.
And you
Wow.
see the green water? You didn't see any water.
No kidding.
Yes,
you could
really
walk
far.
way out there.
Yes. It's surprising.
On continued taking pictures. They show the Moken on the beach crying.
Did you have any idea why they were crying?
I feel like they know what bad will happen, but I don't know how much bad.
And On's pictures show the Moken fleeing towards higher ground long before the first wave struck.
The first water just come like over here.
The water got that high?
Yes.
And that was just the first wave. The worst was yet to come, as the Moken knew because of signs from the sea.
It wasn't only the sea that was acting strangely, it was the animals too. On the mainland, elephants started stampeding towards higher ground. Off Thailand's coast, divers noticed dozens of dolphins swimming for deeper water. And on these islands, the cicadas, which are usually so loud, suddenly went silent.
The Moken people live in villages on the coast of Thailand and Burma, a society of fishermen. Their lives depend on the sea. For hundreds and perhaps thousands of years, their ancestors have studied the ocean, and they have passed their knowledge down from father to son. One thing in particular they were careful to teach was what to do when the ocean receded. According to their traditions, when that happened, the laboon, a wave that eats people, would soon arrive.
Dr. Nariman Hinshiranan is an anthropologist, one of the very few who speaks the Moken language.
Tell me, what is it in your mind that permitted the Moken to know that the tsunami was coming?
And water receded very fast, and one small wave came. So they recognized that this is not ordinary. And then they have this kind of legend that passed from generations to generations about 7 waves.
It's a legend recited around campfires bearing an astonishing resemblance to what actually happened on December 26th. They call it the laboon, the wave that eats people, and it's brought on by the angry spirits of the ancestors. Before it comes, the sea recedes. Then the waters flood the earth, destroy it, and make it clean again.
So basically the tsunami myth is that the world is reborn after it is covered with water.
Yes.
So we're back to the biblical flood.
Yes.
When the elders of the village saw the dreaded signs, they shouted to everyone to run to high ground. Not everyone listened. One elderly fisherman said, "None of the kids believed me." In fact, his own daughter called him a liar.
And the silence was heard by Saleh Kalatale, that skilled spear fisherman who was on a different part of the island. He ran around warning everyone.
When you told people in the village who said something was wrong, did they believe you?
The young people called me a liar. I said we've told the story of the waves since the old times, but none of the kids believed me. I grabbed my daughter by the hand and said, "Child, get out of here or you'll die." She said, "You're a liar, Father. You're drunk." I hadn't had a drop to drink.
Saleh brought the skeptics to the water's edge where they too saw the signs. Eventually, everyone, the Moken and the tourists, climbed to higher ground and were saved. But the village itself, there's nothing left.
But the old fisherman would not relent until all had left the village and climbed to a higher ground. The Moken people were fortunate in that they had someone with conviction and warned them of what would follow. The villagers were fortunate because they listened. Had they not, they may have perished. The prophet Nephi wrote about the great disaster of his day, the destruction of Jerusalem. As one generation hath been destroyed among the Jews because of iniquity, he said, even so have they been destroyed from generation to generation, according to their iniquities. And never hath any of them been destroyed, save it were foretold by the prophets of the Lord. Since the days of Adam, the Lord has spoken to his prophets, and while his message differs according to specific needs of the time, there's one consistent, never-changing theme: depart from iniquity and journey to higher ground. As people heed the words of the prophets, the Lord blesses them. When they disregard his word, however, distress and suffering often follow.
2 Moken boats came out of nowhere. They invited us down. The Moken on the 2 boats hadn't seen each other since the tsunami and started exchanging tales of survival. While the Moken off Thailand had been on dry ground, these Moken in Burmese waters had been in their boats at sea.
The water had such unbelievable strength. It was swirling like a whirlpool, as if it was boiling and coming from the depths of the earth.
Like their Thai cousins, these Moken also knew what to do. Since they were at sea, they made for deeper water and were spared. Others, like some Burmese fishermen near them, were not.
When you can, I want to ask him a question, which is, how come he knew something was wrong and the Burmese fishermen did not? They weren't Burmese businessmen, they were fishermen. They should know the sea too.
They were collecting squid. They were not looking at anything. They saw nothing. They looked at nothing. They don't know how to look. Suddenly, everything rose up. Their boats were thrown up in the air. The violence was unbelievable.
The Lord offers a clear way of knowing if we're on the right path. Those who journey to higher ground to love the Lord with all their hearts, we see in their lives manifestations of that love.